15 foods to never eat with arthritis. Arthritis is a blanket term that describes severe pain in the joints and inflammation. The condition is usually treated with medicine and proper diet. The only problem is that there's really no right diet to follow. However, recent studies have shown that refraining from consuming certain foods can reduce the frequency of joint pain. According to scientific research, these are the 15 foods that you absolutely need to avoid if you are suffering from arthritis. 1. Refined carbs. Refined carbohydrates, mainly found in refined white flour and store-bought bread, are HGI, high glycemic index, foods. HGI foods trigger the production of byproducts such as AGEs, advanced glycation, and products which will amplify the severity of joint pain. If that's not enough to turn you away from grocery store pastries, white bread, and rice, then keep in mind that HGI foods also lead to diabetes and obesity. 2. Fried foods. Any and all of your favorite fried snacks, chicken nuggets, fish sticks, onion rings, what have you, will exacerbate arthritis symptoms. Any highly processed food can result in the production of AGEs, and the only way to diminish these nasty byproducts is by eliminating processed and high-heat treated foods from your diet. 3. Alcoholic beverages. Studies have shown that alcohol in the form of red wine can actually help decrease inflammation and joint pain. But there's a fine line between beneficial and over the line. The flavonoids and antioxidants found in wine and certain beers can have an anti-inflammatory effect which will soothe or numb joint pain. But too much will have the opposite effect. The definition of moderation varies from person to person, so ask your doctor whether a second round is alright. 4. Trans fats. Only with modern science have we discovered the true evil lurking in trans fats. It was believed that margarine was the better alternative to butter, but it's actually not doing you, your heart, or your joints any good. Our bodies are not naturally programmed to break down trans fats, which are stimulating inflammatory response that damages cells. 5. Vegetable oils. What most people and companies did to avoid the dreaded trans fat is switch to vegetable oil. This oil can be made from palm, sunflower, corn, and safflower. But none of them are any better than trans fat oils. Vegetable oils have a high omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, which, as you may know, is not good. Omega-6 triggers inflammatory responses, whereas omega-3 dumps a bucket of water on internal inflammation. A healthy 6-to-3 ratio is 1-to-1. But most Americans are walking around with more than 20-to-1 right now. 6. Salt. Most people are aware too much salt can lead to high blood pressure and an array of heart disease. But it's actually much worse than that. Salt triggers inflammation and draws water out of our bodies. That extra shake of a salt shaker may cause your kidneys to be unable to process sodium efficiently, pushing salt into your bloodstream and complicating your arthritis even further. 7. Dairy. In truth, it's not dairy that is the culprit behind severe joint pain, but rather the hormones and additives dumped into your milk, yogurt, and cheese. Try and find organic dairy products like Greek yogurt, which is high in probiotics and douses inflammation. It also helps your gut process food more efficiently, reducing the frequency of arthritis attacks. 8. Artificial foods. Foods not found or grown in nature are, by definition, artificial. Unless you can find a tree or bush that grows Doritos. Avoid this stuff at all costs. They're full of hard-to-pronounce chemicals, preservatives, and salt, which do nothing but widen your waistline while stimulating inflammation. 9. Gluten. You don't have to be gluten intolerant to avoid eating pastries, bread, and pizza. If you're trying to lose weight or reduce joint pain, then gluten should be stricken from your diet. Consuming gluten leads to inflammation which can be felt in joints all over your body. However, bakery-made sourdough can be beneficial for your gut and in treating inflammation, despite its gluten content. 10. Synthetic sweeteners. The only healthy sweetener with a wide range of health benefits is honey. Don't drop a spoonful or 10 of sugar in your coffee. And definitely do not open a packet of artificial sweetener. Products like high fructose corn syrup and artificial sugar disrupt how our bodies use glucose and flood our bodies with cytokines which trigger inflammation. 11. Saturated fats. Saturated fats are something you don't want to put in your body if you're suffering from arthritis. Sat fats increase the amount of adipose tissue in your bodies which, if left to its own devices, will release pro-inflammatory agents to all parts in your body. You can combat the effects of saturated fats by exercising regularly and refraining from consuming more. 12. Processed meats. There's absolutely no reason why you should consider processed meats like bologna, salami, and bacon healthy. They're full of salt, preservatives, flavorings, and go through a high heat treatment. We admit that bacon tastes great, but try and consume it in moderation and balance it out with daily exercise. 13. Grain-fed meats. Farm animals like chickens, cows, and pigs are not natural grain eaters, despite grain being their only food source before slaughter. So what farmers do to keep their animals relatively healthy is inject them with antibiotics which stay in the animal and then go right into us, the eaters. Grain-fed meats contain high levels of omega-6 which promotes inflammation and joint pain. 14. Fast food. We can't think of any situation where fast food is a healthy alternative to anything else. Loaded with trans fats, saturated fats, preservatives, and almost everything else on this list, you shouldn't have to think twice before not eating at a fast food joint. 15. Certain veggies. After reading this list, you may think that fruits and veggies are your only options. However, there are some veggies that you need to avoid. Any veggies belonging to the Solanaceae family, tomatoes, potatoes, tobacco, and certain peppers, can exacerbate arthritis to the point of unbearable pain. Substitute Yukon Gold for sweet potatoes when making mashed potatoes. Watch more videos, subscribe our channel. Thank you.